Video that we are going to watch is still a continuation of the type of the houses that I'm introducing, the metal cladded houses. The sides, they are called the side cladding, side metal cladding, and the material that is being used is the IBR or the corrugated metal cladding. So this video is just to show the process and how they do it, how they clad with metal. I have a feeling that this product will be actually more cost effective and cheaper compared to the new tech house. So let's watch what this gentleman is saying.
Flashing at the bottom of the siding so that water will hit that and go around our ICFs. This is all going to be a metal siding, so the install is going to be really similar to our roof, but we want to keep that air gap behind the siding because the corrugations are going to be running horizontally. There's a couple ways you can do that. You can run 1x4 battens up your substrate, which is this sheathing right here. Another way you can do that is you could cut strips of plywood, like 1/2 inch or even 3/4 inch plywood, and that would keep that air gap. There's another real inexpensive way, thanks to Building Science Fight Club on Instagram for shouting this out, because this is a really cool way. We're going to be using sill plate sealer. So this is that foam stuff that you put in between your slab or your stem wall, and then put your sill plates on top of to kind of air seal it. It's about 1/8 of an inch thick, and what we're going to do is we're going to line this up everywhere we put a screw in our side, and this can be held in place, just sandwiched in between the screw and the siding.
So the first thing I did was use the laser level to put a mark on each side of the wall. What I did is I ran a chalk line between these marks, and that way I knew that chalk line was perfectly level, and I could line the bottom of the panels up with that line and not have to worry about making sure my trim was perfectly level.
It got a little too snowy there for a minute, but the sun's coming out. I think it's going to subside for now. It might be a little breezy, but I got one of the panels up. I talked to the metal sales, and they said 4 foot on center spacing for these screws is completely fine, so we're going to stick with that. I think having less screws kind of looks a little better. It'd be nice to do hidden fastener, but this is just way cheaper than the hidden fastener stuff. We'll have them not 4 foot on spacing where the panels join together, but otherwise it'll all be 4 foot, and this will be the only differences.
And then you can see the air gap right along there, what we have. So it's not a bunch of air, it's not a 3/4 inch or 1/2 inch or anything, but it's going to be more than enough. This little 1/8 inch gap there, so
Mark this out to fit right there.
So the trim I'm putting up here is trim that goes around all the doors and the windows. It just covers the edge of the panel so that you can't see the cut edge, and makes it look a little cleaner around all the windows and doors. So we're doing this on every window. Now this specific C trim is only going to go around the sides and the bottom of everything, and then it's going to get like a normal flashing over the top so that water runs off of it and doesn't get stuck in the channel.
Real quick, after looking at how I did this, I think I did it the way I shouldn't have. So what I'm going to do next time is extend this bottom piece out, then cut a notch out of the top so it goes around, so that this overlaps with that, but that if water gets in here, if water gets in the side, it runs down and hits the top of this and out, and doesn't just keep running down. I think that's so 6.5 inches. I hope we did this right.
Me too. So when we were putting the panels on the walls, if we had to go around a window and had to put it into the C channel, we would actually have to slide the piece of siding up through that C channel, because you obviously couldn't just put it flat on the wall, it would hit the outside of that channel. So it was a little tough sometimes, but we were able to maneuver it in. The other thing is, for every panel, what we did is got it in place, screwed in one corner of the panel that was usually butted up to the one next to it, and then we put a level on the panel. That way we knew it was completely level, and then screwed the bottom in and then worked up from the bottom. So like I said earlier, we're using the sill seal to put an air gap in our wall. We're just duct taping it to the wall because we're putting it everywhere we're gonna have a screw. We're not putting it places we don't have screws because it's not needed there. Nothing's forcing that panel to the wall right there. But we're putting it places where we're gonna screw, and then as we screw the panel in, it screws through that sill seal and connects it to the wall and sandwiches it in there so it's not gonna move around. So the duct tape is really just temporary. You can staple it up. I just didn't want to have the metal staple rubbing against the back of the panel and rub through the paint and possibly cause it to rust out there prematurely or something like that. So this was kind of a way for me to not have any more holes in the wall than we needed to, not have metal on metal, and still get it secured.
Put up a nice little